What's up, guys? Happy Tuesday, and welcome back to News for You with me, Tracy. Today we have some very interesting stories. We're going to be talking about supporting you. Over 80 Ugandan women have become landowners through a saving initiative by the Uganda Women in Trade and Manufacturing Association. Each woman has saved as little as 10,000. The National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board in Uganda is intensifying efforts to combat illegal betting within the country. In a recent operation, the board destroyed over 1,000 if it actually comes into fruition. During a recent service in Naguru that was actually and has also highlighted the EU's continued business and hopefully this is going to yield some great results. Now it's time for the entertainment scoop. Check out Kawe.
What's up, fam? Welcome back to Entertainment Stories tonight, brought to you by your fave, me, Kale Kalifungwa, bringing you the latest, hottest news in these entertainment streets. Let's get right into it. First on the docket today, we have rapper Tory Lanez has finally been released from prison. Yeah, cue the applause, cue the applause for those who support. And for those of you who don't, you can step to the side. So, for those of you who don't know, Tory Lanez is currently serving a 10-year sentence for shooting Megan Thee Stallion, allegedly, who is an American rapper legally known as Megan Pete, in the foot in 2020. And so he was indicted and charged and, well, started to serve his sentence in 2023. The rapper is allegedly surviving and fighting for his dear, dear life after being stabbed over 14 times in a California prison. The wounds are graphic. The pictures that have been reviewed online, some of them are starting to circulate online a little bit. We're not going to put that in here because, don't want to get flagged. But yeah, we're going to report more on that as we get more information as it goes on. And speaking of indicted fellows, we're going to segue straight into my favorite story to report on if you have seen past videos. The Diddler. Hi, Diddy. I hope you see this one. So, Sean Diddy Combs' federal sex trafficking trial began on May 12, 2025 in New York. Prosecutors allege that over 2 decades, Combs operated a criminal enterprise involving sex trafficking, coercion, and violence, notably through events termed as quote-unquote free course. So Combs, who is facing charges including racketeering, has pleaded not guilty but could receive a life sentence if charged. So if you've been following this story, the straw that broke the camel's back, I'm gonna remind you guys and take you guys a little bit back. This all started with allegations. It started as allegations and accusations from his former longtime partner, Cassandra Ventura, who also happens to be one of the named witnesses in this trial. She's going to testify against Mr. Sean Combs himself. And if you've been following the story, you can see that his family arrived in New York on the 12th of May. They were seen as they were heading into court. This is a closed courtroom case, so there will be no videos and information that is circulating online, but we will be reporting more on this news as the story continues to unfold. See you guys next time.
Is on Form to Inform as always. Bye.